What's going on? What's going on, guys? I am Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you like this video because once again, I'm going to talk about another post-quarantine divorce in regards to rapper Xzibit. Now, for those of you who may be familiar more with Xzibit being on TV, he was on MTV years back on a very, very popular show called Pimp My Ride. That was a very popular show. I was a fan of it. I'd watch every episode, right? And it's, a lot of people know him from that, but he was a rapper. He's always been a rapper, right? And apparently he met his wife in 2001 while I believe he was touring. We're going to get into an article. They were together since 2001. They were together since 2001. They got married in 2014. Only for her to go and file for divorce in 2021. But let's get into this article, TMZ. Xzibit's wife is apparently ready to get her walk on, as in walking away from their marriage. The Pimp My Ride star's wife, Krista Joyner, might have yelled D to the P Monday morning before filing her divorce petition in Los Angeles Superior Court. They've been married for 6.5 years. Xzibit and Krista got married in November of 2014, but the marriage made headlines for another reason. X got busted for DUI in the early morning hours the day after the ceremony. Pardon a little bit too much. The couple reportedly began dating in 2001 and had 2 children together. Tragically, the son Xavier was born prematurely in May of 2008 and passed 11 days later. They have a 10-year-old son together named Gatlin, so there will likely be custody and child support issues to work out before the divorce is finalized. I have said this about, these celebrity marriages. A lot of times, man, they're already on thin ice to begin with. Here you have a guy in Xzibit, right? Now, he has a son from a previous relationship, but he got into a relationship with Krista. They were dating for a number of years before, in his own words, he decided to mature and get married. He decided that it was time to grow up and be an example for his sons, right? Now let's look at this article from Daily Mail. It goes into detail about why he chose to get married. Xzibit's wife, Krista, is filed for divorce from the rapper in a Los Angeles Superior Court. Krista, who's 48, she's 2 years older than him, filed for a split from the Detroit-born rapper who's 46 on Monday, according to TMZ. The couple have been together since 2001 and married in November of 2014. So they dated for 13 years. And they got married near Laguna Beach with a reception at the St. Regis Monarch Beach in Dana Point. Xzibit, whose real name is Alvin Nathaniel Joyner, was arrested in connection with DUI the following day. Let's get to why he chose to get married. Xzibit and Krista are parents to two sons together, but tragically losing baby Xavier in May of 2008, was born prematurely. The star who also is the father of son named Tremaine from a previous relationship. Krista wore a mermaid staple gown featuring a sweetheart neckline, which when she married the musician, with a black ribbon with a brooch detail as a belt. While most couples exchange rings, the pair added some serious bling by getting matching his and hers diamond encrusted Rolexes. It's nothing like, a marriage like getting matching Rolexes. I want who get those matching Rolexes in a divorce. The Hey Now star wrote at the time, "Yesterday was our wedding day. It was nothing short of amazing. We were surrounded by friends and family and had an outstanding ceremony. It was not tainted by negative energy, and I made sure it stayed that way." He confessed he never thought he would walk down the aisle. "There was a time I thought I would never get married. So he thought that he would never get married. No, Xzibit thought he'd be a bachelor for life. A lot of guys think that, but a lot of times they end up getting into relationships and they're with this woman for a long time, right? And she shows an air of consistency. And because she shows that consistency, these guys are willing to give it an opportunity to be in a relationship with them, right? And that's what seems like has happened. They dated for 13 years before they decided to walk down the aisle. All right, let's see. I had to do a lot of growing up, and over time came the maturity I needed to be able to make a commitment stronger than anything that I have done in my life outside of being a father to my 2 beautiful sons. Yesterday, I made my family complete. I had to realize that I am not perfect and I don't always do the right thing. But when I was standing there watching it all unfold, the only thing I could think about was, I am worthy of being a husband, and she deserves the world and the security that comes from being a wife. I have no regrets about my past, the good and the bad, but now this is my future. My sons needed to see that. They now have an example to reference in life when it comes to being a man and how to treat a real woman when you find her. Or in my case, where she puts up with your BS until you come around. LOL. And only for this marriage to then fall apart. Because we all know that women file most of the divorces. When it comes to marriages and those marriages ending, it's not going to be the man that files for divorce. It's going to be the woman. Look at all these celebrity divorces. The majority of them, if not all of them, the women are filing for divorce. Now, I believe Xzibit is cool with Dr. Dre. And it's interesting that both of them are going through a divorce at the same time. Dr. Dre has been going on a little bit longer than Xzibit's. I don't know what it is. It's those living in Los Angeles. Quarantine in Los Angeles may not be the best thing. Quarantining in Los Angeles might be the worst thing for these couples. But the fact that Xzibit never thought he'd be married, I can understand that, because I've said it myself that you really don't need marriage. And I have women that will get upset with me. I got some of these males who have wives that they've committed their life to. They get upset too because they think that you're giving men misinformation. When I tell men that you're better off being single, it's not because of just celebrity marriages ending. You know, I use this as an example because the majority of these normies worship celebrities. They follow celebrities. They want to be like these celebrities. So I use what goes on with these celebrities as an example because they want to be like these celebrities, right? But when it comes down to relationships and marriages, regular average people go through the same thing. And it has nothing to do with spousal support or child support. You have to understand, when you as a man choose to marry a woman, you're thinking that you're going to be together through thick and thin. But a lot of times women have one foot out the door anyway, especially when the going gets tough. Marriages are not what it used to be. That is why I'm not the biggest fan of them, because marriages are not what they used to be. Marriages actually used to mean something. They served a purpose. What purpose does marriage serve now? Unless you come from a household where the parents are married, right? You want to have that, which is fine. You know, you're just following in the footsteps of your father and your mother, right? But what purpose, you got to ask yourself this, what purpose does marriage serve? Because you got women now who want you to pay 100% of everything. So what is she there for? What value is she bringing to that relationship? Now, it's clear that Xzibit thought his wife brought value to the relationship. That's why he married her. He married her because he thought that she brought some value to his life. He said that over those 13 years of just being in a relationship, he grew a lot, he matured a lot, and he finally found somebody that he felt comfortable with to marry. And then 6.5 years later, she's the one filing for divorce. Now, this relationship could have been over, months ago. I just think that the quarantine just exposed that a lot of these relationships were already on shaky ground. Relationships don't supposed to fall apart during quarantine. They're supposed to come together. I don't know if Xzibit was doing a bunch of, touring or a bunch of traveling before then, right? I don't know if he was just a busy man like that. Because I'll tell you right now, when these women marry these celebrities, a lot of times these guys are traveling. These guys are on the road. It's just like when these athletes, right? When these athletes retire, that's when they usually get divorced. You know why? Because the wife is used to them being gone half the year. And even during the off season, those guys are traveling for business or they're going to do off season workouts. So they're used to being at home by themselves. It's just them and the kids, or it's just them. So they're able to live single while being married. They have a whole life within that marriage. Now you will see them in pictures with the husband and the children, and you would think that they're spending all this time together when they're really not. These women get uncomfortable when these guys are at home more. Case in point, when Michael Vick had his reality show, right? I think this was the first episode. He was talking about how much she wanted him out the house, because when he left the federal pen, he went right back to football, right? So once he fully retired, she still wasn't used to him being at home like that. Now, I'm not saying these guys just lounge around the house. What I'm saying is these women get used to these guys having schedules that they build their life around, and they get comfortable with that. But what the quarantine exposed is that you have women out here, man, who have their own lives inside these marriages, and once they no longer have that, it just shows that they really weren't into that marriage like that. So again, I ask, what is the point of getting married nowadays?